information race. A hyperscale data center with all the current bells and whistles for storage solutions of scale and size, cloud computing support, and good to go for AI applications. And today, the president was more than glad to launch into operations and service Vitro's newest data center in Santa Rosa, Laguna, which will help power the country into the digital future, as our Clazel Pardilla reports.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. places his hand on the glowing cube, signaling the start of a historic event.
1, 2, 3. Vitro Santa Rosa Data Center is now officially launched.
Vitro Santa Rosa, inaugurated earlier today, is a state-of-the-art hyperscale data center. It offers online data storage solutions for companies that lack infrastructure or space to manage large volumes of digital information. This massive facility is designed to store vast amounts of data and information.
Parang warehouse yan. Ngunit, imbis na yung mga gamit ang naka-storage doon, instead of boxes of products, we store digital information, such as emails, videos, business records, government files, even the apps on your phone. It keeps everything running safely and securely 24 hours, 7 days a week.
The facility also supports cloud computing, delivering software and services via the internet. It is also artificial intelligence ready. The data center has the capacity to replicate human thinking, to resolve problems faster, and handle complex tasks efficiently. With a capacity of 50 megawatts, the facility is linked to the cable network of a major telecommunications company, extending its services across Asia, America, and Europe. This means the Philippines is poised to expand its potential as a global digital gateway. The launch is expected to attract more technology investors and entrepreneurs to invest in the country.
It stands as proof that the Philippines is future ready for the digital realm. There is some work left to do, but we are ready to do that work so we can be an equal player in the world of data and data processing. The inauguration of VSR signaled the country's readiness to attract the world's largest technology companies and showcase our regional competitiveness in the digital space.
Vitro Santa Rosa was built in the province of Laguna, a reflection, the president says, of the government's effort to promote regional development and inclusive progress across the country. Alongside this project, the government is ramping up the construction of digital infrastructure. In April 2024, the National Fiber Backbone Phase 1 was launched to boost internet speed nationwide. To date, over 11 million online users have benefited from the government's free public internet access program. The administration has also fast-tracked energy projects to ensure a reliable power supply for digital infrastructure needs.
The Filipino student who studies and conducts research online, the small business owner who relies on social media and e-commerce, the Filipino worker who lives far from his or her family, counting on technology to bridge that distance. This technological infrastructure strengthens connection, not just digitally. It ensures that innovation fosters connection, brings opportunities, and uplifts lives.
From 56th place in the Global Innovation Index ranking in 2023, the Philippines climbed to 53rd last year, proof of government's continued efforts to advance the country's technology and economy. Clazel Pardilla, Balitang Pambansa.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and First Lady Lisa Araneta Marcos are expected to attend the funeral of Pope Francis. The palace has confirmed their attendance, although specific details regarding the first couple's departure for the Vatican have yet to be disclosed. The funeral is scheduled to take place this Saturday at St. Peter's Square in Vatican City. Earlier, the chief executive extended his condolences to Catholics around the world following the passing of Pope Francis, expressing sympathy tragedy and mourning over the death of the beloved pontiff. 20 pesos for a bag or kilo of rice? For real, or are you out of your mind? Today, Agricultural Chief Francisco Tiu Laurel Jr. made public that many think is absolutely and commercially unreal, 20 pesos for a kilo of rice. And this ultra-cheap grain will make its debut in the Visayas, as our Maribel Custodio details in this report.
Rice can now be bought for as low as 20 pesos per kilo. Department of Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel Jr. announced during a press conference held earlier at the Cebu provincial capital. The pilot implementation of this program will first be carried out in the Visayas region. This comes after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. met with DA and 12 governors from the Visayas.
Our President has given the directive to the Department of Agriculture to formulate this to be sustainable and ituloy-tuloy hanggang 2028.
It can be recalled that one of the President's campaign promises during the last presidential election was to lower the price of rice to 20 pesos per kilo. This implementation also aims to hasten the release of rice stocks from warehouses, especially in Iloilo, where a large amount of rice is still in storage.
Dati 300,000 tons pa lang ang stocks natin eh. Ngayon 358 na because harvest season. So marami rin talaga yung stocks natin of palay and rice, no, and the rice equivalent. So we really have to move out and dispose.
This huge development was made possible through the continuous effort of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s administration to ensure the food prices remains affordable to ultimately attain food security. From PTV, Vel Custodio, Balitang Pambansa.
The administration's senatorial bets under the Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas coalition resumed their campaign activities to woo voters in one of the country's vote-rich provinces. Considered to be a game changer in any election with over 1.67 million registered voters, Pampanga. PTV's Mela Lesmoras tells us more.
3 weeks before the 2025 midterm elections, the campaign activities of the Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas senatorial bets are now in full swing. Earlier today, they joined 4 major local sorties in Pampanga where they were formally endorsed by local officials. Among those who attended were Senators Francis Tolentino, Bong Revilla, Lito Lapid, and Pia Cayetano, former Senators Tito Soto and Manny Pacquiao, Makati City Mayor Abby Binay, former DILG Secretary Benher Abalos, and Representatives Erwin Tulfo and Camille Villar. Former Senator Panfilo Lacson was unable to attend.
Parang feeling ko kahit ano pong hinaharap natin, kaya nating malampasan pag nandyan po kayo. So maraming salamat po sa tiwala at suporta po na ibinibigay niyo po.
For the Alianza candidates, even though pre-election survey results vary, they continue to court voters relentlessly in the hope that all of them will actually win.
Ikot lang, sipag lang. Yun ang importante, sipag at marinig tayo ng taong bayan. Yung plataforma natin, yung hangarin natin na makatulong sa mga mahihirap na tao.
Well, ganun naman talaga ang laban no? In any case, surveys are just surveys. At the end of the day, it is the people who will decide.
The Alianza is also not worried even if some of their rivals are climbing in the surveys, because for them, the real action will happen after the election.
I'm happy where I'm at right now. Papasalamat na tayo sa mga kababayan natin because from nowhere, actually for several months, naging number 1 tayo. Pero it doesn't matter anymore eh. Why do we have to gun for top 1, di ba? Ang importante, you will perform in the Senate.
Senator Tolentino meanwhile denied rumors that he wanted to return to PDP Laban. He also insisted that his Instagram account was hacked when a post appeared comparing the current and former presidents.
Hindi ako yun eh. May nanghack sa akin. Ang Instagram ko dormant for the last 1.5 years. Kahit tingnan nyo, hindi na ginagamit. Bigla na lang may nag-open. May nanghack nun.
As of now, the Alianza continues to receive endorsements one after another, to which Alianza campaign manager Toby Chanco is truly thankful for. In the coming days, their campaign rallies will be held in other parts of the country. From PTV, Mela Lesmoras, Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro confirmed that new BrahMos missiles from India are arriving in the Philippines with possible immediate deployment being planned. These missiles will be a part of the 2025 Balikatan exercise along with the U.S.-provided Nemesis system. Teodoro criticized China for its actions in the West Philippine Sea and questioned the arrest of 3 Filipinos in China. Meanwhile, Indonesian Defense Minister Zulkifli Sadsodin visited to discuss strengthening defense ties. During a Senate hearing, authorities presented drones intercepted in Zambales and Batanes, suspected to be from China. The Philippine Navy warned this is just the tip of the iceberg and that drones could be used for various purposes, including military espionage. Senator Francis Tolentino linked these drones to recent espionage activities in the country, suggesting ties to China. The Navy emphasized the need to enhance their capabilities to monitor the Philippines' maritime environment, a concern the government is currently addressing. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, highlighted the significance of the 2025 Balikatan exercises with over 14,000 troops from the Philippines, the United States, Japan, Australia, Canada, the UK, as well as 19 observers. Brigadier General Michael Logico stated the exercises are aimed at strengthening defense capabilities, especially in maritime areas like northern Luzon, Batanes, Palawan, and the western waters. The integration of systems like BrahMos and Nemesis will enhance the country's defense reach. The Supreme Court, or SC, warned the public against the spread of fake documents in which some people were using the names of the High Court and other courts to extort money. According to the SC, they have received complaints on fake court notices, issuances, and orders. Some people were also pretending to be court employees to settle certain cases in change of money. SC asserted that the official documents of the Supreme Court are issued by email and can be verified through their websites, Court of Appeals, Court of Tax Appeals, and the Sandigan Bayan. Transparency is what the Commission on Election, or COMELEC, aims for as it inspected the source code of the automated random selection program, which will be used for the random manual audit, or RMA, of the 2025 midterm elections. According to COMELEC Chair George Erwin Garcia, the RMA is an important process done after every election to maintain the integrity of the elections. A total of 762 randomly selected clustered precincts and an online post during online voting and counting system were covered will be RMA for the upcoming May polls. Manual audit will start on May 13 and will last for 45 days. The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD-NCR, conducted a rapid damage assessment and needs analysis, or RDNA, today, April 23, in Barangay 123, Tondo, Manila, after a fire incident. Around 445 families were affected, with Moriones Street designated as an evacuation area. The DSWD is working closely with the Manila LGU to assess the situation and provide immediate relief assistance. The Philippine Coast Guard, or PCG, is continuing its underwater assessment and monitoring following the capsizing of the MV Honghai 16 cargo ship off the waters of Occidental Mindoro. As of now, 9 casualties have been recorded while 2 are still missing. Authorities are also conducting a thorough investigation to know the exact cause of the said incident. The PCG says that they are still waiting for the approval of salvage plan and other required documents to start the operations on the ship. The Department of Transportation, or DOTR, suspended the licenses of 671 public utility vehicle, or PUV, drivers for 90 days due to various violations related to road safety. Out of the said number, 574 drivers were involved in incidents that resulted in slight physical injury and even the deaths of passengers. Meanwhile, 97 of them tested positive for use of illegal drugs. In other news, the remains of the late Pope were transferred to St. Peter's Basilica this afternoon, led by Cardinal Kevin Farrell. The body will stay there until the funeral on Saturday, April 26 at 4 p.m. Philippine time, marking the start of the 9-day mourning period. Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re will lead the funeral mass with clergy from around the world in attendance. The Pope will be buried at the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome. The government is intensifying its efforts against the spread of fake news online, particularly content targeting public figures and institutions. With this, the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, is now actively filing cases against vloggers, including overseas Filipino workers involved in disseminating misleading content. PTV's Isaiah Mirafuentes has the report.
To be arrested right at the airport, that will be the action the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, will take against overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs, spreading fake news. This will be implemented once the Department of Justice, or DOJ, issues a warrant of arrest against them. The NBS is concerned because most of the so-called fake news peddlers are OFWs. According to NBI spokesperson Ferdinand Lavin, cyber patrolling or monitoring cyberspace is the current action being taken by their agency to fight fake news.
Well, patuloy lang kaming mag-iimbestiga at magsasampa ng kaso para malaman nila na ang gobyerno ay may pagkilos patungkol sa mga ganitong maling gawain na naghihikayat sa ating mga kababayan na sumuway o hindi sumunod o kaya ay gumawa ng hindi tama against legitimate government or authorities.
The NBI also stated that anyone who will be charged for spreading fake news will immediately have a bad hit under NBI clearance. Regarding the case recently filed against the former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque after he allegedly spearheaded the spread of what is now known as the Pulveron video, according to the NBI, they are just waiting for the resolution from the DOJ regarding their next step, while they are also coordinating with the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, for the possible arrest of Roque.
Ang iba-ibang sangay ng gobyerno ay nagtutulong-tulong kami. Ang inyong PNP, ang NBI, ang PIDG, ang DICT. Upang ito ay matapos na, binibigyan ito namin ng kaukulang pansin. At hindi namin pababayaan yung aming mga kasong na-rekomenda sa Department of Justice. At patuloy na mag-iimbestiga kami.
It can be recalled that yesterday the NBI filed a case before the DOJ against vloggers spreading fake news. Prior to this, the NBA also filed a case against an OFW in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for spreading fake news against NBA Director Jaime Santiago. Meanwhile, according to Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, fake news is damaging and should not be tolerated, especially when our digital spaces are under attack. No one, even those abroad, should escape accountability, and those who spread false information and undermine the integrity of the government must be immediately punished. From PTV Manila, Isaiah Mirafuentes, Balitang Pambansa.
The Department of Science and Technology,
the Philippine Information Agency, how setup revolutionized her business.
Ang laki ng tulong ng DOST setup dahil na yung mango ketchup namin niluluto lang ng 27 bottles per batch sa isang lutuan. Hanggang nagkaroon kami ng steam jacketed keto na pwede na kami magluto ng 400 bottles per batch at saka 100 liters of calamansi per batch. Noon, sa calamansi juice, only 20 mixture sa isang araw. Sa ngayon, 50 to 100 mixture. So, ang laki ng tulong ng isang magandang equipment na makaproduce ng quality product.
The improved equipment enabled McNester to produce higher quality products and fueled innovation. In 21 years, the company developed 13 products from calamansi, mango, and other fruits and vegetables. Setup also facilitated McNester's acquisition of a reverse osmosis unit purifier, ensuring food safety compliance and further improving product quality. DOST reported that Setup provided 1,541 science and technology interventions to 2,754 MSMEs, local government units, and national government agencies in Western Visayas. The program generated 622 jobs, with 75% of beneficiary MSMEs being women-led or owned. From PIA Western Visayas, April Grace Padilla for Balitang Pambansa.
The Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines urges political candidates to respect intellectual property rights of the music they are using in jingles and other creative content. Rudolph Ian Alama from the Philippine Information Agency Davao Region tells us more.
It is campaign period, and one can hear the sound of political jingles blaring across neighborhoods and on social media feeds. In line with this political campaign, the Intellectual Property Office Philippines has reminded candidates to respect the intellectual rights for the music and audiovisual materials they are using.
During the campaign period, it is a common practice and also a problematic practice of political candidates to use songs without obtaining the proper permission to the copyright owner and also paying the right fees, which we call the royalties.
For tune-set candidates must seek permission from the copyright owner for the use of material. They must also pay royalties. And during this election season, they are partnered with the COMELEC to provide awareness for both the candidates and the artists.
Copyright owners or yung mga owners of the songs na ginagamit sa mga jingles, if you believe that your intellectual property has been infringed, so pwede natin i-report siya sa Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines. So yung mga campaign-related na mga reports and mga inquiries, you may email us at election2025@ipofil.gov.ph.
Jingle composer Renan Agno has been composing jingles for more than 20 years. To protect his work, he has been copywriting his songs.
Sa amin, original kasi from music, lyrics, and then ang recording kasali na nasa mga 40 to 50 na lang.
From PIA Davao Region, Rudolph Ian Alama for Balitang Pambansa.
More air just in the country will be experiencing hotter temperatures tomorrow, April 24, with the heat index reaching as high as 45 degrees Celsius. According to Pag-asa, Tuguegarao City in Cagayan is expected to reach a 45 degrees Celsius heat index, while Pangasinan, Isabela, Aurora, Zambales, and Cavite City may experience up to a 44 degrees Celsius heat index. The heat index of 43 degrees Celsius will be experienced in La Union, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, Bulacan, Tarlac, Batangas, Quezon, Occidental Mindoro, Palawan, Iloilo, and Bohol. Other areas that will experience a 42-degree Celsius heat index include Metro Manila, Cagayan, Olongapo City, Palawan, Capiz, Masbate, and Albay. Heat cramps and heat exhaustion are likely when the heat index reaches the danger level, followed by a heat stroke with continued exposure. And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From PTV, I am William Theo, and this is Balitang Pambansa.